Today we are in Shell Boso Boso, the CFMoto 700CL-X Heritage Edition. So this is a 2021 model. So it is the latest and the greatest from CFMoto. They are a Chinese brand, but this motorcycle has been designed by an Italian firm. The same Italian firm that does the KTM. So if you guys are not familiar with how manufacturers and Italian design firms work, Ferrari, an Italian manufacturer, has for the longest time outsourced its designs to a company called Pininfarina. Pininfarina is an Italian design firm. I'm not sure what Italian design firm is responsible for the CLX, but I can assure you they did a great job. So what can I say about this bike? Let's start with the looks. For me, it looks like the love child of the Ducati Scrambler and the Honda CB650R. It's a neo-retro design. I really like it. The way the tank and the frame is designed, it looks as if there's an exoskeleton wrapping around the tank. A beautiful use of panels on their tubular frame. So they've already put on a tail tidy for you, so no need to put a tail tidy on this. It comes with a tail tidy from the factory. Unfortunately, you do get some backsplash over there and onto your back if ever you don't have a bag. For the wheels, yes, you are correct. The fronts are bigger than the rear by an inch. More on styling wise. So the intakes are very much like the Honda CB650R, and so does the headlight unit. It's got inverted forks by KYB. For the rear, it's also a KYB unit, a single monoshock. For the brakes, these are J1 units. I've never heard of the brand J1, but there is a rear one, and there's one in the rear and one in the front. The front, I would say, are very powerful. They're adequate for the weight and the power of this bike. I did not feel that they were lacking. They are ABS brakes. Unfortunately, there is no way to turn them off using the electronics. There is no option to turn the ABS off. For the rear brake, I would say it's not as powerful as I'd like it to be. I wasn't able to lock up the rear, but that's a good thing, I would say. But I'm not a fan of the rear brake either, so that's not really a big thing for me. Over at the back, we've got a plate holder, elegantly designed. The exhaust has a nice shape to it. I like how it ends right at the middle of the wheel. The collector though, and the catalytic converter, it's a little big for me, but I guess if you guys are going to be modifying this motorcycle, you'll be sticking up a full exhaust on this, and it's going to make it sound much louder. Not that it doesn't sound loud already. This thing screams. We've got passenger foot pegs, really mixed with all of the design elements in that rear set. I was not able to get a back passenger on this because, well, my girlfriend doesn't like riding bikes, but I guess it works really well. There's a lot of seat for your passenger, the pillion as they call it. Let's talk about these foot pegs. So being here right on where you'd sit, that would hit right on your calves, and for me, with my mega calves, that gets pretty uncomfortable very quickly. I'm 5'8", and I'm able to flat foot this motorcycle really easily. So what I meant by these foot pegs hitting my calves, I have really big calves if you haven't noticed, and they're not really at the right place you want them to be. But since I'm pretty tall for this bike, I'm 5'8", then I would say it's still pretty much comfortable. I do have to say that this bike is a lowered bike, as this is the media bike of CFMoto. If you're gonna get a new one, a stock one, it may come about an inch or two higher. For the gear selector, it is adjustable, and I like the material that they use, the design. It doesn't look cheap at all. If you guys are keen to details, you'll see that there's an instruction for how you use the transmission. One down, neutral, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So this is a 6-speed gearbox used by CFMoto. So it is also liquid cooled with its radiator right up front. The lights are LED and are auto sensing. So when it gets dark, it will automatically turn on for you. But if you like, there are buttons, turn on and off these lights, and the LCD cluster backlight. So it's really nice seeing an inverted fork at this price point. It's around 365,000 pesos for this model. So That's a lot cheaper than the Honda 650R, which has 50cc less. So let's get on to the handlebars. I'm sorry if this unit has a lot of scratches. This is the CFMoto demo unit, and I'm pretty much at the bottom of the food chain when it comes to motorcycle reviewers. And I've only gotten this months after the big guys like Makina and Moto Deal have gone and tried this out, and a few other clients as well. So we're gonna show you the start procedure. So one will turn it on. You press this down, which has already been done. It's on neutral. Turn it on. So a quick sound check. So let's move on to the controls now. The throttle is a very well designed throttle. There is no play on that throttle. It's pure joy pulling on that throttle. Here we have hazard lights, and it has a nice click to it. It's not one of those push in and kind of stays down. It's really a nice tactile feel. Very positive feel on that button, and it gives a nice clicking sound. For the kill switch, that's to kill, that's to prime, and hold to start. Over here are the lights, and they are, again, a very tactile, very positive button. You just click on it to cycle through the different lighting modes. So I'll show you guys quickly the different lighting modes that are available. Unfortunately, it's maaraw, so you guys won't be able to see what it's doing except for the one on the cluster itself. I'm very shocked to see that this bike at this price point has cruise control. This is cruise control. So what you do is you put it on when you're traveling at a high rate of speed and you set it, or you can control your speed by clicking down or up when you're on the highway, so that you can free up your right hand on long highway stints. It has here the high beam to pass, the horn at the very bottom. Here are the turn signals. These are also clicky ones. These are not your standard ones that you'd find in cheaper and older motorcycles. It again has that positive feel of each click. And another great thing about this is they are auto canceling. So when you press right, turn right, then you straighten up, it will automatically turn off for you. And that's very useful. That's something that people usually forget doing, forget turning off the headlights. You would usually press that. It still works in that manner. It does automatically sense once you've completed the turn and thus turns off. So here, moving on, my favorite part of the motorcycle is this button, which I didn't really use. So it's Eco and Sport. So these are throttle maps, engine maps, depending on how you'd like to call them. Eco gives you more delay on that throttle, allowing you to conserve fuel and not go crazy with the revs. But I found this to be a bit laggy, especially for my sensitive style of throttle input. So I leave it at Sport. The great thing about this is you just have to press the button and it automatically goes to that engine map. No need to turn off the bike, no need to go to some hidden area in the menu. Just simply press up for Eco, press down for Sport, anytime during the ride. On the gauge cluster, you have select and adjust. That's for, I don't know, fuel tank. Nice fuel tank, 12-liter capacity. So let's briefly talk about the engine. It's 700 cc's, 2-cylinder, dual overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder, water cooled, sounds mean, has grunt, a lot of torque. So that concludes my review of the CFMoto CL-X 700 Heritage Edition. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys are enticed to buy one and try it out. I can for sure vouch for the performance, ability, agility, reliability. I really enjoyed this motorcycle. I think it's a very fun bike to ride. It's a good second bike if you're coming from an underbone or some lower cc. This is a good motorcycle to step up to. It's not too powerful. It is very fun. It's got enough power to do some crazy stuff. You can wheelie if you can. I'm not advising that you do that on the public roads, but the power is enough to wheelie. In full throttle, it will slightly lift the front wheel off the ground, giving you a really nice shot of adrenaline. So yeah, I guess that's all that I have to say about the CFMoto CL-X. So if you're interested in getting a CFMoto, you can check them out in the main showroom of Motostrada in Caloocan, or you can go to the CFMoto closest to your place. Just type in Google Maps CFMoto and you're sure to find one that's closer to your area. So there's one in the south. I think there's one in the south. I have a few friends that bought from the south. But if you'd like to see a really nice showroom, a really nice display of bikes, and maybe MV Agusta, head over to Motostrada in Caloocan. It's a dual showroom of CFMoto and MV Agusta. So once again, this has been Enzo Amistoso, Marimoto, wishing you guys a safe ride. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you dislike this video, please let me know in the comments below. And as always, ride safe. Bye-bye.